Hi again, looking today at compass bearings and true bearings. Before we start, something that's fairly obvious but good to remember is just our basic compass bearings. So we always start with north. If you move in a clockwise direction, we have north, east, south and west. Sometimes people remember this by saying never eat soggy Weet-Bix. North, east, south, west. And we also name the angles exactly halfway. This one here we refer to as northeast. This one here is southeast. It's exactly halfway between south and east. This one is southwest, between south and west. And this one's northwest. Now, before we move on from that, just notice that in each of these, we always start with the north, and here we always start with the south. So we always give whether it's north or south first before we give east or west, and that's going to be useful in just a minute. So they're the ones we're fairly familiar with. But what we're going to look now is what happens if you get an angle that's not exactly halfway between there. Maybe you've got an angle in here somewhere and you want to label that. So what do we do with that? There's two ways we can do it. One way we can talk in terms of compass bearings, and we can talk in terms of true bearings. So let's have a look at both of those. Looking first at our compass bearings, you'll notice I've got 4 different angles marked here, and we'll go through and do each of those as a compass bearing. Now, just like with our compass that we knew, we always start with a north or south. So we start with north or south. So if I look at this first one here, this orange one, it's definitely on the north side. So it's going to be north. And then from the north, I've come 70 degrees and I've come towards the east. So I call this angle north 70 degrees east. And that's how I label that particular angle in there. Let's move to this green one now. This one definitely is on the south side, this green one, so I'm going to start with south. And from the south, I've had to go 30 degrees towards the east. So it's south, 30 degrees east. And that's how I'd label that green angle there. Let's jump up to the red one. This time we're definitely in the north, so we're going to start with north. From the north, I've come 10 degrees towards the west. So it's north 10 degrees west. Now the last one I've put in is a bit of a trick. This purple one here, it's definitely on the south side, so I'm going to start from the south. Now from the south, I've come to the west, but I don't know how many degrees I've come to the west, but I do know that angle in there is 40. So if that angle in there is 40, I hope you can see that this angle in here will be 50 degrees. So I had to work that out, and now I can say that this purple one here is south 50 degrees to the west. So don't just look at the number, it has to be from the south, how far have you gone to the west, or how far have you gone to the east, and so on. So when we're doing compass bearings, we always start with the north or the south, and then we give angle to east or west. All right, let's have a look at exactly those same angles. I've drawn them again over here. How would we do those as true bearings? Now, when we've got compass bearings, we've got never eat soggy Weet-Bix, or north, east, south, west. With true bearings, we just start at the north. We always start at the north, and I'm going to write that here. Always start at north. And what we do is we move in a clockwise direction around until we get back to the beginning. Okay, so move clockwise is our second instruction. Now, to help us with our moving clockwise, we might not put east, south and west. We could, but let's have a think about what those numbers are. As we go from north around here, by the time we get to the east, we've moved 90 degrees, so that'll help us. We've gone 90 degrees. By the time we keep coming around to here, we've gone a total of 180 degrees. We keep going another 90 degrees, and we get 270 degrees. And of course, by the time we get back here, we started at 0 degrees, By the time we get back, we've gone 360 degrees. So let's go through and do these angles, but using true bearings. Now this orange one, starting at north, we have gone from north, we've gone 70 degrees. So you'd think this one would be called 70 degrees, and it's almost correct. We actually call it 070 degrees because our last instruction for true bearings is that we always have 3 digits. Always have 3 digits. Okay, so we always have 3 digits, so that's 070 degrees. Now the green one, so again we're going to start at north and we go all the way around here and we can say, okay, we've almost got to 180, but we're 30 degrees short of 180. So in fact, we're at 150 degrees. Now you can put a T after that for true if you like, but we started at north and we came all the way around here, and this angle from the north was 150 degrees. Let's go up to our red one next. Now with this one, we started at north, we've come all the way around here. You could keep adding and going 270, and then that angle in there is 80, and that adds up to 350. But a better way to do it is just say, look, I know that this is 360. I'm 10 degrees short of 360. So this angle here must be 350 degrees true. T for true. I could put a true there as well. And the very last one is this purple one. So again, starting from north, I've come round, I've gone past 90, I've gone to 180. I know from my question before that that bit in there is 50. So 180 plus 50 gives me 230 degrees, true. Or I could have said, well, this is 270, this is 40 degrees less than that, which makes this 230 degrees true. Now what would be great once you've written that down is for you to have a turn yourself at finding, if I gave you a new one of these with different numbers on it, could you write the angles as compass bearings and could you write them as true bearings? So I'm going to give you an exercise like that to do. Just give me 1 second. So here I've got a new set of angles for you, and this is a good way to record your answers. So we've still got our instructions there. I'll get rid of some of the stuff around the outside. Pause the video, copy those down, see if you can do each of these angles, number 1, 2, 3 and 4 as a compass, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 as true. And I'll be back in a moment to put some answers on for you. For number 1, as a compass bearing, we started at the north and we went 80 degrees towards the east. For number 2, we started at the south, and this angle in here was 40 degrees, and we went towards the east. For number 3, we started at the south and went 18 degrees towards the west. And number 4, we started at the north and went 65 degrees to the west. The true bearings, starting at the north, we went round to number 1, so we went 080 degrees. I hope you remember to put the 3 digits for that one. For number 2, well, we went past 90, we went another 50, so that's 140 degrees. We can put the true as well. For number 3, well, we go around here, that's 180 there, so this is going to make that 198 altogether. Degrees true. And finally, I'm going to take 65 away from 360, giving me 295 degrees true. That will help you to answer some trigonometry questions which involve bearings, and I'm going to do another video where I go through some examples of those. Good luck.